What I'm going to do is give you guys directions on how to make your cloud in your soda bottle. You may remember that from the previous class that there are 3 ingredients that you need in order to make a cloud. One of them is water vapor, so we're going to have to add some water into our soda bottle and get it to evaporate. The second thing is we need the rising and the following cooling and expanding of the air. So we're going to have to create a temperature and a pressure change inside the bottle in order for the air to rise up and then cool and expand so our water vapor can hopefully condense. The third thing you're going to need in your soda bottle is the tiny particles that are floating in the air, the condensation nuclei. Fortunately, there is plenty of dust and other materials in the air in this room. And inside our bottle, which is part of this room here, the air has dust and other tiny particles in which the water vapor will condense on. So what you're going to do first is you're going to use your beaker and you're going to get you're going to get some hot water from the coffee pot, and with your graduated cylinder I'd like you to measure 50 milliliters of hot water. And you're going to add your hot water into your soda bottle. Remember the properties of water that is hot. You want to consider it's the kinetic energy of those molecules, what is happening to those molecules as they move fast at this point in time. We're also going to add, even though it's not including the real atmosphere, we're actually going to add a little bit of rubbing alcohol. So I'm going to give each group a little beaker with some rubbing alcohol, and we're going to actually add that to your soda bottle. So you're going to dump in your rubbing alcohol, mix it up with your water. And what that does is actually that'll speed up the evaporation process. So rubbing alcohol will have a higher rate of evaporation and help get more water vapor up into our bottle. So now we've got to get this change in temperature. We've got to get to the air to first warm up and increase evaporation. Then we've got to get it to cool down and expand to condense on all the dust that's in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your rubber cork and you're going to put it on the top of your soda bottle like this, and then you're going to take the bike pump and you're going to take the larger of the 2 holes of the bike pump and you're going to put that over the yellow valve. Lift up on the handle to lock the valve to the yellow plastic needle, and then one person is going to be holding the cork down on the bottle. You're going to have your goggles on at this point, and one person can put the bike pump up on the desk, and you're going to pump up your bottle and put air molecules into the bottle. You can kind of see some of the changes that are happening in the bottle. Try to get 7 or 8 pumps, and the cork's really going to want to come off from this point, so you really got to hold it down. And then when you're ready, what I want you to do is release the cork, and what you see there is a cloud that has formed in the soda bottle. Don't squeeze your cloud out. What I'd like you to do at this point is then put the cork back on so your cloud doesn't escape. And then somebody hold the cork down and then pump back up and put air back in the system and see what happens to the cloud. This might be a good point to feel the bottle, see if there's any temperature changes between the bottle when it's pressurized and when you depressurize it. Also feel the pressure of the bottle at this point compared to when you release the cork to actually get the cloud to form here. So what you're going to try to do after you've done this, and you've done it a few times, what I'm actually going to have you guys do is try to explain the process before I explain it in another video on how the cloud is formed in here based on these conditions.
Good afternoon, Wayland Middle School.